guys, and welcome back to my channel, All That Jazz. So I can't believe I'm back already with another video, but it is such an exciting time right now for all of us horror fans. Just a few weeks ago, we heard word that there is a Halloween 50th anniversary movie potentially in the works. If you guys haven't seen my last video, H50 needs to let Laurie go, I will leave that in the description for you guys to go and see as well. But now we are also hearing that Freddy Krueger is starring. Paramount just closed the deal for the U.S. rights to the Nightmare on Elm Street screenplay, licensed straight from the Wes Craven estate under their new genre label, Paramount Primal. Now, as of right now, this is fresh off the press, so no writers, no director, no nothing, no actor has been cast to play Freddy Krueger at this point. This is, as the trade papers are calling it, priority developments. Now, over the years, Robert Englund has been pretty vocal about how exactly he would want this to go. In 2025, Englund told Bloody Disgusting that a reboot should skip the origin story and instead start with Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, which he considers is a better entry point. He praised Dream Warriors for its great opening and for launching into fresh territory while still connecting to the franchise history. He also suggested a prequel to explore Freddy's backstory, similar to Tobe Hooper's Freddy Nightmare series. And if you guys haven't seen Freddy Nightmares before, you can watch it now on Tubi. I've actually been watching those as I get ready for bed at night lately. And during this same interview, he also expressed that Doug Jones is one of the best possible choices to play Freddy in a new version of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, or someone like Doug Jones. He praised Jones for his extensive experience in bringing otherworldly and monstrous characters to life, roles such as Abe Sapien in Hellboy, or one of my favorites, the Pale Man in Pan's Labyrinth. He highlighted Jones' physicality, prosthetics experience, and his ability to perform under heavy makeup, qualities Englund believes are essential for redefining Freddy Krueger. Now, over the years, I have heard a lot of fans say Robert Englund is still alive and well, so he should just continue to play Freddy. However, he has been vocal about his body is too banged up at this point for all the physicality and the fight choreography, but he did state he would be absolutely available to do a cameo, and I would love to see it. Now, me personally, I have always felt like if they were going to bring Freddy back, it always made sense for Robert Englund to be in the first half of the movie, and in the movie he should be looking for his successor. This gives Englund a reason to be there, while also giving a new actor an actual narrative reason to exist in this universe instead of just quietly replacing him. So that's how I would love to see it go, and maybe I'll make an additional video to this on my pitch for this movie, because guys, I always got a pitch. I always got a pitch, whether you like it or not. I always have an idea on how a horror franchise can bring back someone that I love. And I just feel Robert Englund is like a hidden gem, and he truly deserves to finally have his way and close out Freddy Krueger how he sees fit. I don't feel like they've given him that respect and that grace previously. I mean, how many movies where we were told this is the last Freddy, and then psych note, we got Freddy's dead. Psych note, we got Freddy vs. Jason. So I would love to see him close Freddy out on his terms, and then we get this successor. And who should play this successor is exactly why I think Freddy might genuinely be the hardest horror icon to bring back. He's not a guy who hides behind a mask, and that's no shade to Michael Myers or Jason. And he's not a voice performance like Brad Dourif does for Chucky, where he can hide behind the puppetry and just provide the vocals of this doll. Freddy has none of those things to hide behind. Whoever takes this on has to bring the full physicality and the comedic timing, and the cleverness in how he delivers every single line, and just an overall presence that fills the screen, as Robert Englund has done each and every time he has portrayed Freddy. That is a lot to ask of one actor, and that is exactly the lens I'm using to size up every name on the list of candidates that I have. Over the years, there have also been a number of fans who have given their opinions on who would be a good Freddy moving forward. And before I get into those candidates, I just want to clarify something, because I know age will come up in this video. I don't have a problem with the elderly, okay? I actually work for the elderly on a day-to-day basis. However, I don't know. I personally feel that Freddy himself has never given old man. If we go back to the original films, specifically the first 2 to 3 movies, to me, Freddy didn't give 40s and 50s. He was in his late 20s, maybe 30s. By the time we got to the 4th movie and on, that's when I feel his energy was giving 30s to 40s, but he never gave an elderly man. So for me, it's not about wanting someone young, because I also don't feel Freddy gave a young teenager or a young adult. I just want someone who feels like he's lived some kind of life. That's the sweet spot for Freddy. He always felt like he lived some kind of life before he became this entity or this demon who was attacking people in their dreams. So I'm using that as my measuring stick for these picks, on some that I agree with and I can see, and then some whether I think, yeah, they may be a good actor, I just think age-wise, that's a no for me. So first up, we can start with Doug Jones, since that is who Robert Englund has pointed to himself. And I get it, the guy is an absolute legend under the prosthetics. Again, I absolutely love Pan's Labyrinth. He has done quite a few movies, Hellboy, Shape of Water, the list goes on. He really does know how to make something that isn't even human feel like it has soul, and that genuinely is a hard thing to pull off. However, my issue is Freddy is physical. Really physical. Stunts, fight choreography, and not only that, Freddy has to spend hours and hours in a makeup chair. Englund himself has said his body basically gave out on him doing this role. Doug Jones is already in his 60s now. I just don't know if he'd want to put his body through this at this point in his career. And honestly, most of his iconic roles don't really require him to even talk much. And Freddy's whole thing is personality to me. That's what makes him one of the funniest and best killers. He has a personality, and I just feel like this may not be his lane at this time. Now, the next one is a little bit out there. However, hear me out. When this actor's name was put into the conversation not too long ago, I actually wasn't mad about it, and I was actually quite intrigued to see him play this role. And that actor would be Jim Carrey. And funny enough, this one wasn't a fan pick. This one came from Chuck Russell, whom is the director of Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors. And to me, that's arguably one of the best sequels in the franchise, but we'll save that for another day. And when you think about it, it's not the craziest idea. Carrey's whole career is built on this manic physicality. He's funny, he's silly, he's crazy. He really has a lot of things and talent in his bag that he can give us, and I feel like this would be something to see. We've never seen Jim Carrey pair this manic, crazy persona with horror. But again, my gripes would be kind of the same as Doug Jones. He is in his 60s too, and he's been pretty selective and semi-retired for years now. So I don't know how many movies we could be able to get out of Jim Carrey if this did work out. Now, this next one, I feel like this actor, he comes up constantly in the conversation when it comes to who should replace Freddy, and that is Willem Dafoe. And I completely understand why. The man just has this face, and it looks like he would be perfect for this. He's already proven he can disappear under heavy prosthetics. Shadow of the Vampire is a great example of that, and he's been horror adjacent his whole career. Again, with this one, my biggest gripe is the physicality issue, and he's pushing 70. So he's closer to Robert Englund's age than the first two I even named. Now, let me also add too, I feel like he would be really expensive, Jim Carrey as well, and I just don't feel like budget-wise that would be smart for Paramount to do, especially again if we don't know if we can get a franchise out of these specific actors and not just one standalone film. Okay, so that's it for the older group. There were a few others that I just decided to leave out just because I don't feel like age-wise we need to be doing anybody over the age of 50, if I'm being honest. And the 50 is kind of pushing it. So these next sets of actors are actors whether they volunteered themselves, actors who I feel would be a good choice, and again, fan picks. So let's get into those. Okay, next up is Devon Sawa. And surprisingly with this one, I absolutely love this pick. He's right at the age that I think Freddy should be, and he's literally volunteered for this role publicly more than once over the years. Not only did he play Jake's dad in season 1 of Chucky, he also played the dad's brother Logan. In season 2, he was the evil priest headmaster, and then we moved into season 3 where he played the president. Completely different roles, and I feel like each role he brought something different and none of them felt the same. So yeah, I would just absolutely love to see him come back and step into a role like this. Now, this next choice is fan-coded all over it, and that is Bill Skarsgård. Now, while I do feel like that would be an interesting choice, and I feel like he would do wonderful, I personally feel like he already has his horror icon role, which is Pennywise at this time, and Pennywise got some work to do. I'm sorry. After Welcome to Derry, we need seasons 2 and 3, and we also need an It 3 to see how they're going to connect these universes and keep this going into something that can go on to be a bigger franchise than it was before. So I feel like Bill needs to only worry about doing It material at this time. He can't be greedy. We can't be greedy, okay? I also saw a lot of people speaking about the actor who plays Art the Clown. I can't think of his name off the top of my tongue, but that's another one. He already has his role, okay? He already has it. He can stay over there too. There's work to be done on both of their ends for the horror franchises they are currently in, so we can scratch those too, okay? Now, this next actor was never in my thoughts or my list to play Freddy. However, I did see his name today as I was going through social media, and I was like, you know what? Why not? Hell yeah, go for it. And that actor is Kyle Gallner. Now, I know so many of us love to act like the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street remake was never made and it never existed, but Kyle did play Quentin in that remake. And if I must say, I thoroughly enjoyed him more in that movie than I enjoyed the girl who played Nancy. So I'm just saying. I liked him in that movie. And I will say since then, he's become an honest-to-God horror mainstay. From The Walking Dead to Smile to Scream to Jennifer's Body, he's proven over and over that he can do unsettling, unhinged without it feeling cartoonish, and age-wise, I think he's good. He's not too old, he's not too young, he's right in the middle where if this were to be successful, he can give more than one movie, and I don't think it'll be so taxing on his body thus far. Well, just yet, I should say. Now, this next actor is just someone who I would love to see more of at this time. He was coming up in the conversations in my H5O video, and that is Josh Hartnett. And I honestly think he is so underrated in this conversation just by his past history in horror with Halloween H2O, The Faculty, 30 Days of Night, and now him being in this newest movie, The Trap. I think he's proven he can do controlled, quiet menace without leaning into it being more camp, which is exactly what a modern day Freddy needs. I wouldn't be upset to see Josh come back and do something like this. I wouldn't be upset at all. That's why I put him in the conversation. I have been very happy to see this resurgence of him, especially since him being in this latest season of The Black Mirror, and I would just love to see more of him. And I think that this would be a role that he could genuinely do and do it justice. So look, with all of that being said and everything that I've went through, here is where I land with this new Nightmare on Elm Street film. Like I said before, I would love to see Robert Englund come back in this movie, especially in the first half, with him as Freddy on the screen searching for his successor, and then going back to what I said about age. I don't think this role should go to an older actor. I know some of these names are exciting on paper, but if this movie does go well, and let's be honest, if Paramount is doing this right, they're going to want more than one movie. You need someone who has the stamina to keep doing this and who will actually want to do this for years to come, not just one time. Okay, and that's really the whole crux of it all. Like I said before, whoever steps into this role has to bring the physicality, the comic timing, the cleverness in the delivery, and the presence that fills the screen, all with nothing to hide behind it. No mask, no nothing. That's exactly why this casting decision matters so much, and whoever steps into this role, they have to be prepared. They have to, because they're going to be critiqued regardless of whoever they pick. But I mean, look what they're following. Robert Englund is Freddy Krueger, and whoever steps into this role has to go in knowing he has already cemented this character. So what are you going to do, and what are you going to put into it to give us something that we haven't seen before and to make us want to see more of you? Now I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? Who is on your list to bring this franchise back and step into this role of Freddy Krueger? Do you like the choices that I picked? Do you like someone else? Let me know in the comments. Now, some of my comments were getting real spicy on my other video about letting Laurie go in the Halloween franchise. Listen, y'all, this is all fun. We all have our own opinions and views on how we want to see franchises and horror icons that we love come back. Just remember to always be respectful in these comments, okay? You do not need to be mean. You do not need to beat people down or their opinions just because they don't share the same views that you share, okay? That is not the kind of energy I want for my channel or in my comments, okay? So just please let this be for fun. Now, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. If you are new here, my name is Jasmine. I hope you consider following so you can come back and see and listen to all of my other random thoughts on horror and everything else that I put on my channel. If you are a returning viewer or even a subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. Every view, every comment, every subscription really does a lot for little channels like mine. So thank you guys so much for taking the time, okay? Until the next one, guys, stay curious and stay out the upside down. I'll see you in the next one.